What's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you my annual video where we find out how long it would take the current Canadian World Junior team to win a Stanley Cup. As I'm sure most of you know, this team came up short this year, losing the quarterfinal of the Czech Republic, and last year's team, the exact same thing happened, and that team ended up taking 9 years to win the Stanley Cup. I think the record is 6 years, which both the 2023 and 2021 team did, so we'll see how long it takes this team. I'm hoping it'll take less than 9. Honestly, I think that actually could get it done pretty quick due to the new conversation system. I think, just players grow a lot faster. Now, speaking of that, guys, I'll show what this team is looking like here in game. Obviously led by Gab McKenna, franchise potential prospect there. And the good thing for the Canadian World Junior team is he's coming back next year. Same with Martone, Schaefer. Honestly, most the good players on this team will be back. So I think 2026, we could be winning the gold. Now, I'll sort this by potential. It's probably more important. After that, you got Berkeley Catton there also with mediumly potential. Then you just got a bunch of medium top 6 forwards. If we actually break it down here by position, I think the top 12 is all going to be top 6 or higher, except for the 12th guy, whether it be Tanner Howe, Pinelli, Cataford. Basically, whoever ends up, being the highest rated that season will be who starts. It'll probably be Howe due to potential. Now, defensively, after Schaefer, Dickinson's high top 4. The rest of them there are all medium top 4, at least for the top 6. And then in terms of the goaltending, that was the strong suit of this team in real life, and it should be in the sim as well, as we've got Ivan Kovic here with elite potential, and then Bjarnson and George both have high starters, so I definitely do not have to worry about our goaltenders. It's kind of funny too, a lot of people are complaining about the roster construction of this team, and I agree. A lot of guys left off that should have been on it, like your Michael Misa, Zane Perek, Yakimchuk, Andrew Crystal. Now, a lot of people were saying that they left those guys off in favor of third and fourth line forwards that are better in those defensive roles. So I think that kind of team creation would lend itself more to, say, an NHL season than an international World Junior tournament. So if that's the case, maybe this team will actually have some success. And now getting to the franchise here, guys, you can see we're playing at the Canadian Tire Center, as of course the tournament was held in Ottawa this year. And because the tournament's being hosted in Ottawa, guys, of course I'll have us playing in the Atlantic Division. We've also got a few other Canadian teams there, and our starting rating there is 63 overall. So obviously it's gonna take us at least a few years before we're even sniffing a playoff spot. As for the start of year 1 here, guys, we're gonna try and jumpstart their growth by doing the 5v5 focused. You add offensive and defensive awareness along with puck control, I think, in exchange for speed. Now, I don't want to do it too much, otherwise you're just gonna have a bunch of guys, skating in mud out there. But I think for the start, it'll probably help us out, get those guys' ratings a little bit higher, try and have them, compete better. If they're putting up more points, they should grow more, based on their performance. So I'll show you guys what the lines are looking like here. Again, this is just kind of the first year. A lot could definitely change. So we got McKenna, Catton, Martone on the first line. Martone and McKenna are the highest rated. Catton, though, has elite potential, so I want those guys with the highest potential, getting the most ice time, greatest chance to succeed. Obviously, we definitely need McKenna, Martone here to carry this team. After that, you got Bradley Nadeau, Callum Ritchie, Easton Cowan, Luchenko, Jaeger, Repkov on the third line, and then Howe, Bodwin, Gauthier on the fourth. Defensively here, Dickinson, Schaefer, top pair. They're both left-handed with their highest rated guys. We then got Bonk, Melendijk, Akey, Gibson. Goaltending-wise, of course, Ivan Kovic starting, George backing him up. For the first few seasons, I'll probably just let the AI control the power play, the PK, because we're not going to be really competing anyways. But once you start actually being competitive, I'll start to tinker with it. Now, in terms of the AHL, we got a few guys that didn't make the team. So we got Pinelli, Cataford there on the first line. Defensively, you got Price, you got Minio, and then goaltending-wise, we got Bjarnson there as the backup. And of course, two guys we got authentic captains. So Braden Jaeger, they're wearing the C with Ritchie and Melendijk, both wearing A's. And I was taking a look at the coaching staff too. Is obviously with a young team, we definitely want some good teaching. I know, Dave Cameron's not on the team, which is probably good for us. I think Canada definitely wants to, go out and find a new coach. The one they gave us here is A- overall, and I already took a look. He's actually got A+ teaching. So this could be the perfect coach for us. The coach influence isn't great, so we might have to get a new coach once this team's actually, good and don't really have to worry about the growth as much. But for now, A+ teaching is huge. I think goalie coach here as well has A teaching. We can definitely get an A+ one, so we'll do that. Again, just trying to maximize the growth for this entire team. And now next year, guys, I'll show you the team's ratings to start year 1. We won't be seeing these again until we're about to win the Stanley Cup. So I'm curious to see, how much better they'll be by then. Right now to start, we got 68 offense, 58 defense, and 64 goaltending. I mean, that kind of makes sense. I think, a big thing people were saying was with the defense, the team definitely could have taken a lot better guys like your Zane Pereks, your Yakimchuks, even Landon Dupont maybe at the 15-year-old. Hopefully, he's on next year's team at 16. Also, too, if you guys want to see, the jerseys there, we got the home, the away, as well as the alternate, just trying to look like, the real-life jersey. So we'll see what happens with this team. Let me see your guys' predictions in the comment section below. How long do you guys think it'll take? Again, last year's team took 9 years. I think, though, with the new conversation system, this team should be able to beat that. I'm going to predict 8 years. Maybe they can win it 1 year sooner, but the 2023 team that got it in 6 had Bedard, Fantilli, tons of good guys, so I don't see them doing it that fast. Also, too, before we get started here, guys, if you can, leave a thumbs up on this video. It really helps me out. And now I just finished swimming through the first year, guys. We have a record here, 20, 56, and 6. Honestly, considering like the ratings on this team, not too bad. Last place there in the Atlantic Division, 46 points. Look to be last in the NHL as well, but this is what we expected. And just to be sure, guys, I checked, and yeah, we got last place in the league, 20 points behind both the Blue Jackets and the Sharks. So next year, hopefully, maybe we can get second last, you know, show some improvement. Gavin McKenna, though, had 70 points this year. Like, that's pretty good. 82 games. Terrible plus minus, though, for the entire team. Porter Martone, 67. Nadeau there at 54. Jaeger was closing in on 50. Cowan, 41. Catton only 38. I thought he'd get more because he's playing on that top line. Maybe they didn't have him on, like, the power play or something. I'm not sure. And actually, yeah, that's what it was. He had 0 power play points. I don't know how they didn't put him on that, so I'll make sure to fix that next season. Goaltending here, Ivan Kovic, almost 900. That's not bad. I feel like, you know, he should still get growth. He's 71. We'll see what he is next summer. And now the draft results are in here, guys. Columbus picking first overall. Good for them. They'll get James Higgins. We're at 3, so we'll probably just take Martone or Schaefer. That way, there's not like a duplicate out there in another NHL team. Probably try and land Ivan Kovic as well in like the second round. And you guys can see there, the Tampa Bay Lightning actually won the Stanley Cup. So we'll take a quick look at the awards. I doubt, McKenna could have won the Calder, which would be pretty crazy as a 16-year-old. I guess he turned 17 during the season. Matthews there at Ross and the Hart. Hughes got the James Norris, Martin Lady Bing, Michkov, Calder. Okay, so he lost out to Michkov, that's all right. Kucherov, Conn Smythe, Bennington, Vezina, and William Jennings. Wow. Dickinson, Bill Masterton Trophy. Okay, so we got, you know, some hardware already in year 1. Bruce Cassidy, Jack Adams, Kopitar, Selke, Matthews, Ted Lindsay, and Ray Richard. So I'll just sim through the rest of the summer here, guys, and we'll see what the team is looking like to start year 2. As for the start of year 2 here, guys, just want to show you we're able to draft Matthew Schaefer 3rd overall there. So this way he doesn't have like a clone, you know, on some other NHL team. Same goes for Ivan Kovic. The one we actually had last year is down in the AHL, as you guys can see. And I think he's the only guy that got sent down. Now, look at the lines here, guys. You can see Bradley Nadeau is actually 87 overall, the highest rated player on the team. He's also got the magnetic X factor, high toss X potential now, so looking like a beast. We got McKenna moved to the middle, only 84 overall, but he's still 17. Franchise potential, like literally Martone, Schaefer weren't even allowed to play in the league last year. McKenna wasn't allowed this year or next year, so it's pretty cool. These guys are actually getting like extra seasons to grow. Second line, you got Cowan, Jaeger, Catton, Gauthier, Ritchie, Luchenko on the 3rd, with Retkov, Bodwin, and Howe on the 4th. Defensively, Dickinson, Schaefer still top pair. They're both 80s now, so that should help. Aki, Melendijk, Bonk, Gibson, and then goaltending-wise, we got George starting now with Bjarnson backing him up. And as I mentioned, guys, Ivan Kovic now down to the AHL. He's got elite potential, though, as Rolls-Meyer starting goalie, so I think he should still grow. And I do see him being like the starter when we eventually do compete for a cup. Pinelli, Cataford down there, they're both 73s. Same with Price, Minio. I feel like those guys are probably never going to make the team just because their potentials are all worse, but we'll see. And I just finished through Season 2, guys. As you can see there, we finished the record of 32, 44, and 6, so not too bad. Still, though, we were last place in the Atlantic Division there, 70 points. There's a chance we might not have been last in the entire league, though. I see the Avs won the President's Trophy. Vancouver barely squeaked in. And we actually, yeah, we beat out Utah and Calgary, so definitely growth. Only a couple points back there of the Sharks. Hopefully, like I said, every year this team gets better and better. Bradley Nadeau's already an 88 now. Just had almost a point per game seasons. Got shock and awe now as well. This dude is going to get good. Still a bunch of dash players on the team. McKenna 67 is not too bad. Now an 85. I'm hoping like franchise potentially should get up to at least a 90. Martone 50 plus. Same with Catton there at a big year. Jaeger, Ritchie, and Luchenko all just one shy. Gauthier 40 is not bad. Schaefer 35 for our number 1 defenseman, not too bad. I'd like to see him start putting up 50 points consistently. Melendijk as well, 24. I'd like a bit more from him as an offensive defenseman. Goaltending, George got most of the starts, 902. Bjarnson 904, okay. Down in the AHL, Ivan Kovic 925 save percentage, already a 73 now. Yeah, he popped off. And then let's see, AHL, Cataford 52, Price had 52, that's pretty good. Pinelli also had 50. And here are the live results, guys, for the 2026 draft. Calgary there actually stays at 1 to pick first overall. Now, what I'm actually going to do is go and try and trade up for that first pick to get Gavin McKenna. Again, just to make sure there's no, like, you know, clone out there in another team. Will help us out not having to play against him, plus, obviously, a bit more realistic. You guys can see there, the Maple Leafs actually took home the Stanley Cup, so good for them. They finally got it done. Matthews there, back-to-back Art Ross trophies and Hearts. McCarr, James Norris, Point Lady Bing, Demidov got the Calder, Matthews, Conn Smythe, Gustin, Vezina there, Markstrom, William Jennings, Parayko, Bill Masterton, so probably no awards for us this year. Capitals coach Jack Adams, another Selke for Kopitar, Matthews, Ted Lindsay, and Maurice Richard, so Matthews is simming like a beast. Hopefully we have a good summer here, and maybe next year we're at least like competing for a playoff spot, even if we don't make it in. And check this out, guys. Forgot to show you at the beginning of the season, but Matthew Schaefer now has low franchise potential, so hopefully that makes him grow even more. If he can end up being like, you know, an absolute stud #1 defenseman, that'll really help out this team. And now next year, guys, I'm actually hiring a new head coach. I'm gonna go with Lindy Ruff here. He's Canadian. I feel like the Canadian team needs a Canadian head coach, and he's got A+ teaching and coach influence. Of course, those are the 2 most important stats. Our guy only had a C for coach influence. Also, he dropped down to like a B after our 2 bad seasons. So if we get Ruff signed here, should make our team even better. All right, guys. So now at the start of year 3, I wanted to show you this. I thought that was kind of funny. Our Ivan Kovic, who's played a year in the NHL, is the same range as the one we drafted, who's just been in juniors. I think it's kind of interesting to see, you know, the different player growth. Same goes for Schaefer, the one we drafted last year, already an 85, whereas the one that we actually had in the NHL for 2 seasons, an 83. Now, he does have low franchise potential, which, you know, could end up making him better, but obviously that does make it, I guess, more risky. That's maybe why the other guy got a better role, already being at 85, but I'd still believe, you know, in our guy. So looking at the team this year, I don't think we're going to be making the playoffs, but I think we should still take a next step compared to last season. So we got Bradley Nadeau, McKenna, Martone as our first line. They've all got 4 X factors. They get a +3 chem boost. Jaeger's 85 now, playing with Richie. Cad's 85 there as well. Gauthier, Cowan, Luchenko's not bad. Repkov, Bodwin, Howe, like decent 4th line. Defensively here, we got Dickinson, Schaefer, both 83s now. Gibson, Melendijk, they're 81, 80 respectively. Bonk's only a 74, Akey 79. So Bonk could end up getting passed by one of the AHL D-man. Bjarnsson's actually the starter now, 82. George there, 81. So interesting to see. I think that'll mean we've had a different goalie start all 3 of the first 3 seasons. Ivan Kovic, of course, down in the AHL. We got Pinelli, Cataford, 75, 76. Price there is actually the same rating as Bonk, so we could try him, honestly. Never mind, guys. Price and Akey get a -5. I don't know how it's that bad. All right, guys, so I just finished saving through year 3. As you can see there, we finished the record of 31, 42, and 9. So I think that's about what we did last season. I'll take a look here. We had 71 points. Yeah, I swear last year we had like 70, I want to say. We're already starting to all blur together. Now, in terms of the league, wow, we actually kind of did worse. Finished second last there, opposed to third last. Tied with Calgary, 1 back of St. Louis. 2 back of the Islanders, Philly, Columbus, we're all pretty close. So, I mean, we're right there, and obviously our whole team is like, you know, sub 20, I think, still. So we're definitely going to start to become better a lot faster than the rest of the teams. McKenna there, 69 points. Nice, now an 87. Hopefully he keeps going. I would love to actually see his potential become a high franchise that make him grow even faster. Nadeau, 60 is not bad. Luchenko at 50. Martone only 49. Catton there close to 50. In terms of defensive scoring, Schaefer 31, so slow down a little bit. Again, low franchise, really curious to see what ends up happening with him. Melendijk 20, you'd like a little bit more there from an offensive defenseman. I think his passing, maybe we'll try and get his puck skills up this summer. Goaltending here, Bjarnsson 9-1 and George 9-1-3. Those are actually pretty good numbers. AHL, Ivankovic 9-1-4. I think his goal was to have a 9-1, so he should jump in rating. In the AHL, you got Pinelli there, 59, Cataford 53, so we'll see if either of those guys can break in the NHL next season. And now the draft results are in, guys, for the 2027 draft. Minnesota jumps from 11-1 to get Landon DuPont, and the Avs there win a Stanley Cup, so take a look at the rest of the awards here. Probably nothing for us this season. Look at the stats our guys had. I just don't really see anyone breaking through. McDavid there gets the Art Ross in the Hart, though. McCarr, another James Norris. Pasternak, Lady Bing. Nabokov, Calder. Okay, wow. Good for him. Good goalie getting that. Conn Smythe from McCarr. The Avs just get everything. They get like the Stanley Cup, Calder, like come on. Shesterkin, Vezina, Nabokov, William Jennings. So that's probably a big reason why. Won the Calder, Uyghur, Bill Masterton. Luke Richardson, Jack Adams, of course, real life, he's fired. Couturier, Selke, McDavid, Ted Lindsay, then Pasternak there, Maurice Richard. All right, guys, we're now at the start of year 4 here, and for the first time, our coach thinks we're going to be a playoff team. At least that's Lindy Ruff's opinion, so we'll see whether or not that's going to happen. And now next year, guys, I'll show what the lines are looking like for year 4. We got McKenna, Catton, and Martone now as that first line, get a +3. Luchenko, Jaeger, and Nadeau is on the second line. Jaeger's actually got high top 6 potential now as well, so hopefully these guys keep growing. Cowan, Richie, Gauthier on the third with Redkop, Bodwin, and Howe there on the fourth. Every single line game positive chemistry. Defensively, we still have Dickinson, Schaefer, top pair. It does suck, like Schaefer here is 85. I think the low franchise honestly hurt his growth because the one we drafted a year later, hasn't played in the NHL, is now an 88. I think the medium elite might be better than the low franchise, so hopefully it doesn't screw us. I think we need to get him like producing to actually hit that, you know, franchise potential. Gibson, Melendijk on the second pairing, Bonk and Akey there on the bottom. And then goalie-wise, trying something a bit new. Bjarnsson starting, Ivan Kovic backing him up. He's now an 80 overall, roll there as backup. Again, kind of like Schaefer, the one that we drafted is actually an 82. We can't use him though because we're just, you know, taking them so their team can. George there's in the AHL as a starter because, again, I want Ivan Kovic, who has the most potential, and he's the youngest of the three, to, you know, start growing here and actually reach his potential. Also, too, Pinelli and Cataford there, 78, 77. I think, you know, are higher than Bodwin, but Bodwin as a 4C makes a lot more sense. He's got higher D awareness and better physical. So let's see if Lindy Ruff's right and this year we actually make the playoffs. Looking at the team, I don't think it's going to happen. All right, guys, we just finished year 4 with record there, 35, 36, and 11, just shy of 500. Definitely our best season yet. Unfortunately, though, we are not in the playoffs. We finished second last in Atlantic, only doing better than Detroit. I am curious to see, though, entire league. Hopefully we're like, 25th maybe or something. 24th, yeah, that's not too bad. 5 points behind the Blackhawks, who actually made the playoffs in the West. Looks like the East was better than the West this year. McKenna up to 89 overall now, had 72 points this year, not bad. Still a dash player. Can 64. Richie 59, pretty big year for him. Cowan 53, Martone 52. I mean, as an 87, you probably want to, put up a bit more than that. Yeager and Nadeau are both close to 50. Gauthier at 41. Schaefer 34 points isn't bad. He's an 87 now. Again, hopefully, he can keep just growing in rating. Melendijk 30, 83. Not bad there. Again, offensive defenseman, like to see him putting up 40, maybe 50 points. Bjarnson 905. Ivan Kovic actually had a 913. Okay, so maybe this will be the summer he grows in rating. I did ask him to have a 9-1 save percentage. He did better than that, so there's a chance. Down the AHL, George had a 9-1, and then Ivan Kovic, the one we drafted at a 9.25. I'm sure it's getting confusing for you guys. I apologize. Also, Pinelli down in the AHL led the team in scoring, 63. Cataford 57. Maybe one of these guys can break in, but like I said, because they're like offensive guys, they'd have to make the top 9, which just isn't happening at this point. And look at the awards for this year, guys. The Utah Hockey Club win their first ever Stanley Cup, so good for them. Kind of surprised, honestly. Makar with the Art Ross. Again, just a cheat code in this game. McKinnon, though, gets the Hart. If a defenseman's winning the Art Ross, he's probably winning the Hart as well, especially if he's winning the James Norris there. And, yeah, I mean, just give him the Hart Trophy, especially if they gave it to a guy on his team. Rabkin there got the Calder. Hughes, Conn Smythe signed with Utah. Okay, big. Nabokov got the Vezina Trophy. And the William Jennings there. Back-to-back years. Vezina after winning the Calder. The Avs look like a juggernaut. Mashton there goes to Parayko. Seattle coach Jack Adams. Byfield Selke. McKinnon, Ted Lindsay, and then Matthews there, another Maurice Richard. All right, guys, so it's now the start of year 5. Hopefully, it's the first year we make the playoffs. Looking at the team, we definitely starting to look more like a real NHL team. You got McKenna, Catton, Martone on the first line, getting a +4. McKenna and Catton there, both 89s. Martone definitely got to get going a little bit. He's 87. Hopefully, can start scoring. You got Yeager there playing with Richie, Nadeau on the second line. Retkov, Cowan, Gauthier on the third. Luchenko, Bodwin, and Howe is actually our fourth line. So, hopefully, our stars keep growing. I think we definitely have the depth now. Defensively here, Dickinson, Schaefer, Gibson, Melendijk. That's actually an NHL top 4. Would like to see Schaefer become a true number 1. Bonk, Akey. Bonk's kind of a weak spot. Goaltending-wise, we actually got George and Bjarnson, both 85s. For whatever reason, I think Kovic, the real one, is just not growing. He's the 83 here. So, hopefully, he is only 21. He's got the lead potential still. I think, he could pass those guys. And as you guys can see, the first line AHL is now the other McKenna, Pinelli, Cataford. Defensively there, we also got the other Schaefer, Price, Minio. I mentioned two guys, with us actually being competitive now, decided to go in, fix the power play. So, the top unit there looks pretty good. Schaefer on the point. Power play 2 even, I think, looks solid. Looking at our PK, Callum Ritchie here, Porter Martone, both have good D awareness. I think, Gibson, Schaefer also as defensemen there have been every season trying to increase their defensive awareness. Gibson there's got 5-star physical as well. So we'll see what happens this year. Would be really cool if we can actually make the playoffs finally. Now I just finished the end of season 5, guys. Unfortunately, we kind of got screwed. We had a really good record this year, 43, 34, and 5. The Atlantic Division, though, is just unreal. We had 91 points, and we're 7th place in the division. Even the Sabres above us, 93, they also missed. So unfortunately, the division I put us in looks to be like a god division. I'm curious to see where we actually are in the entire NHL. I think we're probably going to be a top 16 team. As you can see here, 3 of the top 4 teams, all from the Atlantic. Let's see. Buffalo's 12. Yeah, we were 14th in the league and don't make the playoffs. That is just unfair. In terms of the points for this year, guys, McKenna had 70 points. He's 89. I think by next year, he could probably be a 90. He's got 98 offensive awareness. Basically, it's just the shot and the physical, even the skating, I guess, that could be better. Nadeau 64, Can 64, Richie there, Martone at 61, Yeager, Cowan. So what is that? 7 guys on the team with 50-plus points. Schaefer 42, not too bad. He's up to an 88. We need him to get, like I said, 90-plus, be that number 1. Melendijk there, closing in on 30. So yeah, overall, pretty solid. Goaltending, 917 for George. Bjarnson 892, and he actually got more starts. So maybe next year, Ivan Kovic comes in for Bjarnson. Speaking of which, so ours is the one that was the backup there, 911. We need him to grow this summer. And look at the awards for this season, guys. The Avalanche there win another Stanley Cup. They're 2nd in 3 years. Individually, McDavid there, another at Ross. Kucherov got the Hart. Makar, 4th straight James Norris. McDavid, Lady Bing. McKinnon, a Conn Smythe there. Herbal got the Vezina, William Jennings. Parayko back-to-back, no Mastertons. Carberry there, got another Jack Adams. I'm thinking once we eventually make the playoffs, Lindy Ruff should get that. Hischier, Selke, Kucherov, Ted Lindsay, Pastrnak, Maurice Richard. So hopefully, you know, after kind of getting screwed this year 6, we finally get into the playoffs. And now looking at Lindy Ruff here, guys, and obviously he's not too bad. A+ in the 2 most important spots, but I feel like we could actually hire a better new head coach. John Cooper there is available. I don't know why Tampa let him go. Veteran specialty, though. I was actually looking at Rob Brendamore here. Another Canadian guy. A+ everything. Obviously, I have owner mode turned off, so I'm just going to pay him whatever he wants, and hopefully he can kind of bring us that next level. All right, guys, so unfortunately, Rob Brendamore said no to us. John Cooper is still available. Now, the teaching specialties veterans, we're clearly not a veteran team, but he's got A+ everything, and his team fit's actually the same as Brendamore's, so maybe we'll just make him an offer. And he's going to be the coach of the Canadian Four Nation team, so this kind of fits. And there you go, he said yes, so let's see if he can turn this team around. And now look at this, guys. We haven't even made the playoffs yet, and John Cooper's coming in, and he says we're going to compete for the Stanley Cup this year, so hopefully that means we're at least a playoff team. And I think for this season, we're just going to do team bonding here. We got the new coach coming in. I feel like that is a pretty good boost to have on the team, even with, you know, morale turned off. So I'll show you guys the lines for year 6. Like I said, at least, you know, be a playoff team this season, hopefully. First line, there's all 90+ now. McKenna, Catton, and Martone. Martone's also got the Total Eclipse zone ability, so he took a big jump now being a 90. And they're getting a +5. Cowan there playing with Jaeger, Nadeau, they get a +3. Easton Cowan actually has melee potential now, so he started at medium top 6. Good to see that. Repkop, there's 86 now. He's playing with Richie, Gauthier. When we started this, I think Repkop was like a 66. Fourth line, Howe, Bodwin, Luchenko looks good. You know what, guys? I'm actually going to put Luchenko here on the third line just because they'll get a +1. And honestly, Repkop, he's got pretty good shots, so he can be the shooter on that line. Defensively, they've actually switched it up here. So Schaefer, Gibson's on the top pair. Gibson's got 87. Akey, Dickinson second. Melendijk, Bonk on the bottom. And then goaltending-wise, we got George starting. Ivan Kovic backing him up. So in the AHL, you can see the other Ivan Kovic. I don't know how he's grown so much more. Maybe the fact that that one I had such a bad, you know, year 1, it kind of stunted his growth. Bjarnson backing him up. I'm hoping that with him being back in the NHL, especially if he can have, you know, decent numbers as the backup, it'll get him growing again. And now look at this, guys. Year 6 just finished. Our record there's 41, 30, and 11. And as you probably guessed, that was good enough to make the playoffs. Just barely, though. We had 93 points tied with Florida. 92 Tampa Bay Lightning did not make the playoffs. So just shows you the Atlantic Division is still crazy competitive. And with 93 points, we're actually only 15th in the NHL. So in terms of the entire league, we technically actually did worse this season, but we're in the playoffs, so we'll take it all day. Martone there, almost a point per game at 79. Catton 75. Cowan a big year as a second liner, 74. McKenna there, 71. Now a 91. He's just going to keep getting better. Hopefully can get to that 92. Jaeger 69 is nice. Nadeau, Retkov, both 50s. Richie 47. Schaefer 39 is not bad. Hopefully he hits 90 overall as well. Now in terms of the goaltenders, George had a 900. Ivan Kovic only had an 888. Again, he's got the lead potential. I'm hoping we can have a random spike. Like how this one got to 89. Bjarnson here, he's still 85. So we definitely have options for goaltending next season. And on the first round of the playoffs, guys, we had the Buffalo Sabres. So we'll see what happens here. First 2 games are going to be in Buffalo. Game 1's a loss. Game 2's a loss. Hopefully, we at least don't get swept here. Our first, you know, playoff appearance. Obviously, we're going to be heading home to Ottawa, game 3 and 4. And we get a win there. Game 3, okay. Game 4 is a loss. Like I said, at least we did not get swept. You never know. Maybe we could climb back here. Down 3-1. Game 5, back in Buffalo. And we get an OT loss. All right, so no sweep. But hopefully we can do a lot better next season. And I think we got a dynasty on our hands here, guys. The Colorado Avalanche win their 3rd Stanley Cup in 4 years. That is just so impressive. Matthews there with another Art Ross trophy. McDavid with the Hart. Bouchard, James Norris. So Picard didn't get it there, even though he gets another Stanley Cup. Maddox Schultz on the Red Wings. That'd be sick if they can get him. McKinnon back-to-back Conn Smythes. Nabokov, his 2nd Vezina in 3 years. Akey, I thought that was ours, the one on the Leafs. Bill Masterton. We did not get the Jack Adams. I thought John Cooper might get that our first year in the playoffs. Unfortunately, did not. But like I said, first year in the playoffs, we're happy. Hopefully, we can build on it next year and at least, you know, get past round 1. All right, guys. So it's now the start of year 7. John Cooper again has us competing for the Stanley Cup, and I can see why. Our team's absolutely stacked. First line there, 93, 91, 92. Getting the +5 chem boost. Even the second line there gets a +5. Cowan, Jaeger, Nadeau. I think third line here, Retkov. Richie's a 91 now, probably because he's power forward with 5-star physical, definitely helping out. But even Luchenko there, like solid third line. Richie's probably best 3C in the league. Gauthier, Bodwin, Howe's also a pretty good fourth line. So hopefully the top 6 can carry. Schaefer's an 89 now. Not quite 90, but still definitely a number 1. Gibson there, I'm surprised I actually got that high, 86. Akey, Dickinson, Melendijk, Bonk definitely have the depth. goaltending wise. So I decided to bring in the Ivankovic we drafted. I feel like the other one somehow got ruined. Like I said, I'm guessing it's because he had a bad first season there, below 900 save percentage, and then he was like in the AHL, and even though he had good numbers, I just didn't matter, I guess, because the other guy's only been in the AHL and he's up to a 90. So hopefully everyone's okay with that. Just give us more of a chance here. George is backing him up, same rating as Bjarnason, but his save percentage below 900 last year. And then again, guys, in regards to the power play, +5 on the first unit. It's just all forwards there. Hopefully they can pop off. Power play 2 still looks solid. PK wise, like I even noticed Easton Cowan, 91 D awareness, 89 stick check, 99 strength. Like we definitely have guys, who can play kind of anywhere in the lineup. So let's see if year 7's our lucky year. First off, kind of get by round 1, but maybe we can actually win the cup. All right, guys, so I just finished through year 7. As you can see there, records 46, 28, and 8, which was good enough again to be a playoff team. Although still not that comfortably in a playoff spot. We got 3rd there in the division with 100 points. Literally one less win. We're tied with the Panthers. Maybe the Panthers had the... Actually, I don't think they had the tiebreaker, but still, the fact we would have been like a tiebreaker away from missing is pretty crazy. The fact Florida misses with almost 100 points. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of screwed myself putting ourselves in the Atlantic here. We were a top 8 team, though, with that 100 points. Take a look next and see how everyone did this season. Martone still 92. He had a point per game. Catton basically a point per game. Same with McKenna there. So top line was good. Cowan, Nadeau. Second line there kind of dash. Jaeger -12. Maybe we'll switch that up then for the playoffs. Schaefer had 51 points. That's his best season yet. Love seeing that from him. Repkop there. Richie almost 50. Howe 34. He actually outscored Luchenko there. He was on the 3rd line. So maybe I'll swap those two as well. In terms of the goaltending, Ivankovic gave us a 904. He is 90 overall. George there, 891's not much better. Down to the AHL, Bjarnason, Ivankovic actually crushed. And the other McKenna there was over a point per game. And yeah, look at this, guys. Callum Ritchie actually has unstoppable force zone ability. I still don't know how a 93 Gavin McKenna doesn't have one. So we'll try Ritchie there on the second line. Honestly, maybe even put Jaeger. Yeah, there we go, +5. So I'll put Cowden on the left wing because he's left-handed. Jaeger can play the right side. And then we'll put Nadeau there on the left side. Repkov in the middle. And we'll leave Luchenko there since he's right-handed. Should fit better. Or actually, you know what? We could give Gauthier a chance on the 3rd line. See how he does. Defensively, I think, should stay the same. And so here we go, guys. We got the Red Wings in round 1. Of course, this is my team. So first 2 games are in Hockeytown. Obviously, last year got stuck in round 1. This year, 1-1 through 2. We actually got an OT loss there, so that's not bad. Hopefully, can at least win 1 more here at home. Playing in Ottawa. Game 3 is a 5-3 win. And game 4 is a 2-0 loss. Okay, 2-2. We'll take that. Game 5 back in Detroit. And it's a 3-2 win. All right, so all we got to do now is win one of these next 2. Please, come on. Let's move on for the first time in the playoffs. And there we go. We got the Montreal Canadiens now in round 2. I'm not sure. Montreal, I think, was a pretty good team. Obviously, they got Demidov. They still got Caulfield there. Got some good young players. But our team is pretty stacked. Like, I'm surprised we're not doing better in the regular season. Lose game 1 to Montreal in OT again. Win game 2. Sorry, that was actually in Ottawa. We finished higher than Montreal. The last 2 games were away. 5-0 loss, 5-2 win. So series is tied 2 apiece. Back at home, game 5, 4-3 win. Game 6, a 4-2 loss. Game 7, do or die. Find a way. 4-3 win. Let's go. Have the Islanders now in the conference final. So here we go, guys. First 2 games are in New York. 1 loss, 1 win. I feel like that's not that bad. Heading home to Ottawa now. Game 3 is a win. Game 4 is a loss. So same spot we were in before. 2-2. Game 5. Come on. That's not great. That's a pivotal game. Have to win the next 2 now. And we forced game 7. 4-3 win. You know what? Game 7. Eastern Conference Final. We'll sim this one period by period. Come on. I feel like the Islanders at this point probably pretty old. And 2-0 lead. Easton Cowan. Callum Ritchie. That's the second line. 3-2. Martone gets 1, but they get a couple. Can we hold on here? Shots are pretty equal. We do. 4-3. Repkop there with the game winner. Let's go. On to the Stanley Cup final and only our 2nd playoff appearance. Pretty impressed with this team. Obviously, very, very close. Like 7 games for the Islanders, 7 for Montreal. The Red Wings we did beat in 6, but definitely been, a bunch of close matchups here. And now look at this, guys. John Cooper having a conversation with us, saying how we met our goal making the Stanley Cup Finals. So Influence XP, Management Morale, both get a boost. And they look to both be at the max. Hopefully it'll affect, how we play here in the Stanley Cup Final. Because as you can see, we got a Dynasty to take down here. We're matched up with the Colorado Avalanche, who I just saw sign Matthew Tkachuk. Are you kidding me? Where are they getting the cap space to do this? Look at this first line, guys. Tkachuk, McKinnon, who's actually gotten down to 91. Kind of surprising. I guess he is 35 now. Mikko Rantanen. Makar's a 96. And then they got Nabokov, who's a 91. Okay, we need a Cinderella story here. Our 2nd playoff appearance. Also, too, guys, we're just going to keep simming game by game because I don't know how many seasons it's going to take. Don't want the video to be too long. First 2 games are in Denver. 7-2 loss, 3-1 loss. Not ideal. Okay, game 3, though, we get a win. And game 4 is a win. Let's go. 4-3 OT, 3-1. So tied up to a piece. We have life. Have to at least win one game in Denver, obviously. And we do it in game 5. Are you kidding me? Down 2. We've just won the last 3 straight. All we have to do now is win one of the next 2 games. Please, EA, let it happen. Year 7. 7's my lucky number, so maybe it'll happen game 7 here. First period, let's see. Down 2. McKinnon, Hoaglander. 3-1. Resume simulation in case we somehow come back, but Rantanen makes it 4-1. Okay, if we're still down by 3 at halfway, we'll just Jaeger makes it 4-2 though. Aki, like 30 seconds later, 4-3. We're on the power play here. Imagine we tied that up, like 3 goals. McKenna, are you kidding me? Tie game 4-4. Boys want the cup. Let's go. 5.5 to go. Is this going to go to OT? And it is. Okay, so we got to watch this. Let's go. I'm actually really curious to see the rating breakdown. So we've got 94 offense, only 85 defense, kind of surprising, and then 93 goaltending. So it looks like we have higher offense than them. Probably just comes down to the depth. Like, they had a sick first line. Not much depth behind it. We have 3 better offense, 8 worse defense, 3 better goaltending. Their goalie actually is 1 overall higher, but again, we have a better backup. And then defensively, they have McCarr, which obviously boosts it big time. So we're going with the big guns here. First line, McKenna, Cat, and Martone. Got the first D pair out there as well. OT. We're actually, I just looked at the shots in the top left, 41-22. We've been all over them here. Of course, we're playing at home. This is kind of cool. Like, you know, we're literally playing in the Center's arena. Big block, Cat in there on the rebound. Schaefer, literally Nabaka was out of the net. If Schaefer just got that out front, I don't know who was sitting there, but they could have put it in the empty net. Okay, McKinnon, you have to stop the shot. Just like that. Miller. Okay, game 7. So this is it, guys. Do or die, game 7. Come on, first period. And 1-1. Nadeau for us, Joseph for them. Second period, 3-1 lead. Gauthier, Retkop. Okay, so I think that's the third line getting it done. We called up Gauthier there. McCarr makes it 3-2 immediately. Avs not going down without a fight. Shots there pretty much exactly equal. But at the halfway point now, come on. Whitaker there ties it for the Avs. Imagine another OT here in game 7. McKenna, though, says no. 7 minutes to go in year 7. Game 7. Nadeau makes it 5-3. 1 minute. Okay, 21 seconds left. I think this team finally got it done. Bit of a Cinderella run as well. I think 20 seconds left. I'll just take control. And I'm going to wear the alternates here, guys, just because I think they'll look nicer for the team pick. 27 seconds to go here, guys. Like I was saying, I can't believe this team is going to stop the Avs Dynasty. I mean, the fact they came this close to 4 cups in 5 years, just stupid. Ooh, nice little play. Schaefer, just get rid of that thing. 2 seconds left. Cat in there. There you have it, guys. 2025 Canadian World Junior team finally gets their Stanley Cup in year 7. Honestly, surprised it took them so long to kind of start making the playoffs. Like, didn't even get into year 6, but Atlantic Division was so stacked. By the time we actually got through them, you know, juggernaut here in the Avs to beat. So, definitely well-earned. And look at this, guys. Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Gavin McKenna. I'm really hoping he can have, like, an unreal tournament next year on the 2026 team. Kind of like what Bedard did for the 2023 team. Help, you know, lead them to gold. And there you have the captain, guys. Braden Yeager going out to accept the Stanley Cup. Sparklers going off. Let's go. Finally gets it done. And like I was saying, guys, here is the team pick. That's what we've been waiting all the video for. And then right there you can see Canada Stanley Cup champions. Again, 7 years isn't too bad. Doesn't tie the record or anything, but you know, it's also faster than other teams did it. So I do think the new conversation system definitely helped, especially the defense, just boosting their D-awareness. But there you have it. Canada World Juniors 2030-31 Stanley Cup champs. And now look at this, guys. Porter Martone's now at 93 overall. So we'll take a look and see how everyone did in the playoffs. Obviously, McKenna, Conn Smythe, yeah, 31 points. He's a 94. Finally has a zone ability. Magnetic there after we win the Stanley Cup. Martone's a 93 at 30. Cantoni 25, so that first line popped off. Even Nadeau 23, and he was playing third line. That's actually super impressive from him. Easton Cowan here is now 90 and dropped in potential. Very strange. I feel like a 90, definitely a lead. Schaefer here as well, finally hit 90. Again, the low franchise for him. I'm not sure if that made him grow faster, slower. Definitely slower off the get-go because the other one hit 85 before him, but now he's higher. And then Ivankovic there coming in, 906. Not bad. Definitely didn't, you know, carry us to a playoff win or anything. I think those are the skaters in front of him. So finally, guys, we win the Stanley Cup. I'm curious to see any individual awards. McDavid got another Art Ross and Hart. Hughes got the James Norris there with Utah. Still funny to see. Meach got Lady Bing. Metropolit, Calder Trophy. Obviously, McKenna, Conn Smythe. Trey Augustine, Vesna, Landon William Jennings, Badinka, Bill Masterton, Seattle coach Jack Adams. So we still couldn't get one of those, which sucks. Carlson, Selke, McDavid, Ted Lindsay, and the Maurice Richard. But again, we got the most important thing there, which was the Stanley Cup. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this vid. If you did, leave that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.